this term, the science of teaching reading, kind of thrown around, and you're wondering inside of your head, what is it and how in the world does it apply to me as a reading tutor? Well, that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. And also, if you like content like this, subscribe, like this video, and subscribe to the channel so that you can always stay up to date when new videos come around. So the science of teaching is, I'm really excited about this because I have to say, when I was going through the school system, I was totally disappointed in the education that I specifically had. Okay. I didn't feel like when I walked into the classroom that I could meet the needs of all kids in reading. I didn't feel like I could meet the needs of all kids in science, right? I felt like I had like this background knowledge, but I didn't have any experience that could help me with that. What I think is cool about the science of teaching is it uses best teaching practices that have been discovered through research and are evidence-based as being proven systems. They have to know what those strategies are. They have to understand how they can modify different activities for all students, and they have to pass these proficiency tests. Yes, this is exactly what's needed. We need to know this stuff before we enter the classroom, because otherwise you're blindsided when you get there and you're like, wait a minute, my third grade class ain't no third grade class. I've got kids at our first grade level in this subject, at a second grade level at this subject, a fifth grade level at this subject. Like, you can't just teach, to the middle. So I think what's important is we have to know what those scientifically based research practices are versus just guessing from our gut and going with it, right? Guessing with our gut is good as long as you have the background knowledge. If you don't have the background knowledge on best teaching practices, you're really going to struggle on making sure that you're meeting the needs of the students that you're going to be working with and the children that you're going to be working with. So this is really, really important for us to really understand. Here is how it changes now with the science of teaching reading. Language comprehension. So it's bringing in the auditory along with the written word. And I think this is really important because if you struggle with hearing something auditorily, you are going to struggle later on as well when it comes to then reading it. So language comprehension, you understand language, background knowledge. How much background knowledge do you have? Vocabulary, language structure, verbal reasoning, literacy knowledge, phonological awareness, decoding, and sight recognition and the word recognition. So this all comes on down into the science of teaching reading. So what does classroom instruction look like when it's based on the science of teaching of reading practices? Now, the reading interventionist course that I created goes into like, how do we put this into practice for tutors? And what does that look like? So that you guys have the opportunity to be putting best teaching practices that are research based into your tutoring, and you can be now gauging the results that each of your students is getting. You find out first where those gaps are, you close those gaps, and then you're able to move them forward. And it really, sometimes we make things harder than they need to be, and it's not as difficult as you might think it is. No, a lot of time has gone into simplifying the process so it works best for kids based off of best research practices, and instead of focusing on having tons and tons and tons and tons of different strategies that you're going to utilize, really breaking it down into more simplistic pieces of information. Well, thanks you guys for joining me today. I will see all of you guys soon. Join me back here next week, Monday and Thursday, and enjoy the rest of your day.